Buffalo, 4 shots on goal, 10 shot attempts by Tage Thompson in the game. Had that breakaway chance in overtime. That came close to the line, and now Montreal's going to work it out. Carrier ahead. Over the line comes Newhook. Shooting. Scores! Alex Newhook! Olé! 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 And Montreal is going to play Carolina in the Eastern Conference Final.
Playoffs are all about writing amazing stories, and Alex Newhook's been there before. He's won it. You see the frustration of Luukkonen, but what a playoff series. 7th goal. Scored the game winner in Tampa, and just a turnover at the offensive line. A smart play here by Carrier, and they said never a bad thing. Shoot the puck through the traffic, through the legs of Dahlin, and Luukkonen can't get a hold of it. Underneath the glove, over the pad. Best sound in the world as it hits the post and goes in. And in back-to-back game sevens, it's Alex Newhook with the game-winning goal. What a story.
Game 7 in Tampa, regulation time. He does one better tonight in overtime. Game 7, round 2. And Newhook finishes this series with a series-leading 6 goals. Dahlin brilliant in defeat for Buffalo.
And don't forget Dobish. All the talk about, okay, he's never played so many games in a row. You get pulled in the 3rd period on home ice. That's got to hurt your confidence maybe. Well, no, and he hung in there. You give up a 2-goal lead. Buffalo fought valiantly to come back, but Dobish once again follows Ken Dryden's footsteps as the only Montreal Canadian rookie goaltender to win 2 Game 7s in the same playoff year. Unreal.
In the year that they wear 29
Isn't that incredible?
On their uniforms, he made 37 stops in the game. What a hard-fought series. And they saved the best for last. This was one of the great Game 7s.
Well, on 2 teams that kind of parallel each other, don't they? Trying to learn how to win in the playoffs. Buffalo, the 14 years this city didn't have a playoff run. They get to the 2nd round and just fall 1 shot short. But these Montreal Canadiens pushed to 7 against an experienced Tampa team, won 7 1-goal games, and here pushed to the brink again and win another 1-goaler. Amazing.
Nice gesture by the fans. The Let's Go Buffalo chant, reminiscent and louder even than what the Flyer fans gave their team as a send-off. These 2 teams are going to probably get to know each other a lot over the next few years in the postseason.
The landscape of the Atlantic has changed quite a bit, hasn't it? You know, these Buffalo Sabres won the division. Montreal and Tampa 106 each, and the fans, rightfully so, giving these Sabres a whole lot of respect for what they've done.
Marty St. Louis, your guys bounce forward tonight. And what a roar by the Sabre fans for their team. That is a factor in the NHL and the Stanley Cup playoffs again. Let's head down to ice level. Here's Kyle.
Jakob, you're starting to make a bit of history here, and you're looking a little more comfortable in these Game 7s. How would you describe your emotions after tonight?
Obviously, hell of a team on the other side. I mean, they were really good today, and we just got luckier. As I said last time, we got to stay humble, and the test is going to get harder. We have Carolina. They're a hell of a team too, so we'll enjoy this tonight, but we got to reset.
As you went through your mental preparation last night before today, did any part of your visions include overtime in Game 7?
I mean, a lot of things go through my head, especially I try to check every box, and obviously OT was one of them, and my mindset was just telling myself, not now, not this time, they won't score, nope. And that was just my mentality for, I don't even know how many minutes, so yeah.
I just wonder for you, it's been 14 incredibly grueling games through the playoffs to this point. How are you holding up?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can play 40 more. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you feel about getting to a conference final for the first time?
Well, I'm still a rookie, so we'll reset, we'll go back home, and, you know, we learn our lesson game one against these guys. We didn't show up game one, so our whole focus is to enjoy tonight and come hungry for game one, because that's a good team and every game matters from now on.
Congratulations. Thank you. Chris.
Boy, what a performance, what a story he's writing. Dobish and Newhook are kind of dueling as Montreal Canadiens MVPs through 2 rounds. What a night. And the finish provided by Alex Newhook for the 2nd consecutive Game 7. By the way, they're advancing against a team that has not lost in the playoffs, but they're advancing against a team that they swept in the regular season. What a game it was at a Game 7. Canadiens win. Ron?
Norris and Evans again. Poked back by Norris. Colleen pressured by Demidov. The puck is free and taken by Alexander Carrier. Headmans the puck. Shot. Score! Montreal wins Game 7. Alex Newhook. The game-winning goal in both Game 7s of these playoffs for Montreal. Only one other player in the history of the National Hockey League has multiple Game 7 clinchers in a single postseason. Nathan Horton for Boston in 2011 when they won the Stanley Cup.
Luukkonen, you see his frustration as he throws his mask down the tunnel. A nothing play. There's nothing going on. The Sabres have controlled much of the last 2 periods, most of overtime. And I mentioned earlier, there is no such thing as a bad shot in overtime. And Alex Newhook's great series continues. His 6th goal, it's a little bit of a turnover. There's still nothing going on. And Carrier will flip this across to Newhook. This shot goes past Dahlin and cleanly beats Luukkonen on the far side. Maybe a bit of a flyby screen as Evans goes to the front of the net. It goes under the glove, over the pad. And your Game 7 hero is Alex Newhook. And the Montreal Canadiens on the road again move on to the next round.
7th goal of the playoffs. 6th in this series for Newhook. Dobish was magnificent, and they go crazy in the Bell Center. And a remarkable series ends with the great tradition. The end of Stanley Cup playoff series with the handshakes. Alex Newhook. And these classy fans chanting, "Let's go Buffalo."
Oh, what a disappointing night, eh, Sean? They played their hearts out. The Sabres were fantastic to come back in Game 6, to send it here, down 2-0, show all kinds of guts and courage to get back in the game. And then they lose in overtime, and just a disappointing way for an unbelievable return to the playoffs for the Sabres to end.
UPL had an up and down playoff, but he can hold his head high tonight. Sure, he'd like another shot at that last shot. Benson was terrific. Such great sports fans here in Western New York, and so much heartache in the postseason with the Bills and Sabres. And again tonight.
These two goalies came in with all kinds of questions in Game 7. And they had a good handshake as they went by. Both Luukkonen and Dobeš in particular were fantastic tonight. Dobeš held the Canadiens in. He ended up facing 39 shots. 2 Game 7s in his career. He's a 2-0 game winner. He has not lost 2 in a row in the playoffs this year. 6-0 for Jakub Dobeš.
And obviously the same is true of his team. A lot of respect between those two coaches. Marty St. Louis and Lindy Ruff. Lindy waves to the fans. Great scene here. These fans saluting the Sabres. Here's Emily with the history-making hero.
Alex, back-to-back Game 7 winners for you. How do you explain it?
Yeah. Oh, it's a crazy feeling. You know, to come up and get 2 wins to keep us going here in the playoffs, it's fun. It's why you play the game, and you know, I think we played well enough to win. So we're looking forward now.
What do you think this moment's like in Montreal right now?
Yeah, it's got to be electric. I'm sure everywhere in Montreal is going nuts right now, and we owe them a lot of credit. They showed up for us all series long, and can't wait to get back to the Bell Center for Game 3.
This team, I'm sure a lot of people did not put you guys in the Eastern Conference Final when the season began. How do you guys get here? What makes you so special?
Yeah, I mean, we're a confident group. I think, you know, we knew we were capable of all year, and you know, I think we believe that we can keep going and bring this thing all the way. So, you know, it's a big result, and we're looking forward.
Where does that confidence come from?
I mean, I think we built it. You know, we built it since I've been here anyway, and we built it all season long. And you know, we've added some pieces, and I think everyone's kind of come together to play together and play their role to the best of their ability this far in playoffs. So we got to keep it rolling.
All right, you're in the Eastern Conference Final. You play the Carolina Hurricanes, long rest. What should fans expect in that series?
Yeah, we're gonna give it our best. You know, we got to keep rolling. You know, and see what happens.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Alex Newhook had 2 game-winning goals in the regular season. He played in only 42 games. He had a fractured ankle that required surgery. But he has been tremendous in these playoffs, which will continue for Montreal as they win their 2nd straight series in 7 games and will advance to take on Carolina in the Eastern Conference Final, which begins Thursday on TNT at 8. The West begins here on ESPN Wednesday night. Colorado and Vegas. What a game. What a series. 4 teams left now in the pursuit of Lord Stanley's Cup. Alex Newhook from Newfoundland, one of very few from Newfoundland who has his name on the Stanley Cup. He won one with Colorado. Chance to win one with Montreal. Montreal 3-0 against Carolina, by the way, in the regular season, but it's a new season. For Emily Kaplan, Ray Ferraro, Sean McDonough. Good night from Buffalo. Now to Sports Center, Nicole Briscoe and Trevor Scales.
Carrier, la rondelle le frappe. Dahlin, fin de tir. Dahlin, longe la ligne bleue, disque perdu. Et Carrier s'empare de la rondelle libre. Carrier, la passe. On entre avec Newhook. Evans vers le filet. Le tir. Et le but! Victoire des Canadiens! Alex Newhook propulse le CH en finale de l'Association de l'Est. La magie continue d'opérer. Ce club-là n'arrête jamais, n'abandonne jamais. Prochaine destination, Caroline.
Incroyable ce qu'on vient de voir. Et oui, on peut aller le féliciter, notre gardien de but Dobeš. Et on peut féliciter Martin Saint-Louis et toute sa formation. Après avoir vécu de l'adversité, tu mènes 2-0 au match numéro 7. C'est facile de se laisser emporter. On trouve une façon, et qui d'autre, encore une fois, Félix, qui va jouer les héros du côté du Canadien.
Et là, Martin Saint-Louis regarde du côté de Lindy Ruff pour la poignée de main.
Oui.
Est-ce que ça se fait entre les 2 bancs ou au centre de la glace? Mais revoyons ensemble le but gagnant celui d'Alex Newhook.
On laisse un petit peu trop d'espace. Le jeu de Evans qui se dirige au filet, ça a créé vraiment un écran partiel sur le gardien de but Luukkonen. Regardez juste ici, au même moment où Evans va passer, c'est là où Newhook tente se lancer et va trouver le fond du filet. Et les Canadiens qui trouvent une façon. Quel match de la part de Carrier encore une fois. Défensivement, ils venaient d'intercepter un autre jeu. Et c'est des joueurs de soutien. Newhook qui connaît de séries incroyables, Félix.
À nouveau, le but gagnant pour Newhook dans un match numéro 7. Newhook qui a marqué 6 buts dans cette série face aux Sabres. Newhook, habité par une grande magie. La réaction au Centre Bell. Le printemps n'est pas terminé. Et Dobèche, lui, merci 1000 fois. Il a été gigantesque à plusieurs occasions. Le gardien des Canadiens donne une chance à son équipe à chaque soir. Et c'est pour cette raison que les Canadiens ont rendez-vous avec les Hurricanes de la Caroline.
C'est de trouver une façon et cette équipe qui démontre beaucoup de résilience depuis le début de la saison, beaucoup de caractère. Et là, ça en prenait du caractère. Là. Mentalement, comme j'ai mentionné, c'est fait. Tu mènes 2-0, tu te retrouves à casse-départ, mais tu trouves une façon. Encore une fois, on plie, mais on ne brise pas de la part des Canadiens de Montréal et c'est tout à leur honneur.
Alors, les Canadiens qui vont maintenant affronter les Hurricanes en finale de l'association de l'Est. Ça va être intéressant. Ce sera un 8e duel Canadiens-Hurricanes, Canadiens-Whalers, là, à vous de juger.
Ouais.
Les Canadiens ont gagné leurs 3 matchs cette année face aux Hurricanes, alors qu'on a droit à la traditionnelle poignée de main. Alex Newhook, Monsieur Séries éliminatoires 2026.
Incroyable. De ce genre de joueur, tu penses à Claude Lemieux, on en a parlé un petit peu plus tôt dans la série, là, 10 pieds trop haut. John Leclerc qui avait été très bon également pour le Canadien dans les années où on a rapporté des coupes Findlay. Et là, c'est Alex Newhook qui se démarque encore une fois.
On retrouve Elisabeth avec Alexandre Carrier. Élie?
Merci, messieurs. Alex, c'est pas bon pour notre heartbeat, tout ça, là. Comment vous avez vécu cette rencontre de fou qui s'est terminée en prolongation?
Oui, c'est incroyable. Je pense qu'on a tout donné. Il ne restait pas grand-chose dans le tank. Je pense qu'on a fait ça toute la saison aussi, de vous garder un peu sur le qui-vive. Grosse victoire. Dobie est incroyable encore. On n'a pas fini.
Vous marquez les premiers buts. Vous meniez dans cette rencontre-là comme le match numéro 6. Qu'est-ce qui a fait la différence? Parce qu'ils sont revenus. Ils ont lancé souvent sur Ukko-Pekka. Qu'est-ce qui a fait la différence ce soir?
Honnêtement, je pense qu'on a resté au plan de match. On sait qu'on a une équipe très offensive. On a voulu garder ça simple. On aurait aimé ça pendant la prolongation, évidemment, mais tu sais, c'est parti de la game. Ensuite, je pense que c'est juste de rester au plan de match puis espérer. En prolongation, on a besoin d'un tir, puis on l'a eu.
À quel point vous apprenez à vitesse grand V? C'est juste de voir Ukko-Pekka, je t'en parlais, juste de le voir rebondir de la façon qu'ils ont rebondi ce soir. On dirait que tout le monde va gagner de l'expérience en fou.
Oui, c'est incroyable. Même pour ma part, je ne me suis jamais rendu là, fait que c'est excitant, mais le caractère de Dobie s'en dit long. Je suis sûr que, pas juste lui, il y a plein de gars dans la game qui voulaient avoir un meilleur match, puis il y a beaucoup de gars qui ont step up aujourd'hui, incluant Dobie.
C'est un des meilleurs matchs que tu as joué de ta vie, dans le sens dans lequel un match que tu as vécu le plus intense de ta vie?
Oui, je pense que oui. C'est dans mon top 3, certainement. Je pense que ça aurait été Game 6 contre Tampa Bay au Centre Bell, mais celle-là, c'est dans mon top 3, certain.
Caroline?
Caroline?
On s'en va en Caroline?
Oui, il fait chaud là-bas, on est nos shorts.
Merci, Alex.
Merci à toi.
Ah, merveilleux,
voilà,
certain. Merci, Élie. Certain, Alexandre. On s'en va en Caroline. Le Québec célèbre. Voici le choix des 3 étoiles.
Les 3 étoiles du match vous sont présentées par Vidéotron.
La 3e étoile, Rasmus Dahlin. La 2e, Jakub Dobèche, 37 arrêts. Et la 1re étoile, Alex Newhook, le but gagnant en prolongation dans ce match numéro 7. C'est pas terminé. Ce n'est pas terminé. On s'en va en Caroline pour la finale de l'Est dans quelques instants. L'après-match. Allez, célébrer.
Versus Evans once more, and the Sabres win this to the line. Here's Dahlin. Under pressure from Demidov. Loose puck in the slot. Habs are going to skate it to center. Carrier feeds it ahead. Far side. Evans drives the middle. Shot. Scores! Game 7 overtime winner. Alex Newhook has come through for Montreal, and the run stays alive off to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Incredible sequence for the Montreal Canadiens. It's a face-off win. The puck gets fed up into the neutral zone. Jake Evans follows it up. He drives the middle lane, kicks it out to Newhook, who has been deadly all series. I've seen him shoot this puck harder, but not much more accurate. As he takes a look, head up, and he spies the right corner, far right side. And Luukkonen misses it with his glove, and the series is over.
And Alex Newhook, who had the hottest stick against Buffalo, ends this series in Game 7 overtime. Yvon Lambert, Claude Lemieux, Russ Courtnall, and Alex Newhook. Game 7 overtime winning goals for the Montreal Canadiens.
You can practically hear the folks yelling in Newfoundland. 6 goals in the series. Game winner in Game 7 against Tampa Bay. Game winner in Game 7 against the Sabres.
He's already a cult hero back home on the Rock. He's solidified his legacy forever tonight with the Montreal Canadiens. 8:38 to go in the first overtime period. Buffalo outshoot Montreal 39-25. It does not matter. Newhook from Carrier is your official series winner tonight. As they go through the handshake at center ice. What a series, what a game tonight, JP. The only game of all 7 that's decided by 1 goal.
Well, 11 and final meeting of the season. And it took an extra half a period to do it with Alex Newhook coming out. We talked about it at the beginning with Philip Danault and Zach Bolduc getting the Canadiens off to the start that they needed. And then Buffalo pushed back in a big way. But they were not able to knock the Canadiens out when they had them on the ropes. You get it to overtime, and you never know. It really just is that one shot that's going to count, and it ends up on Newhook's stick. Takes advantage of Evans going hard to the net. Pekka Luukkonen loses this puck, can't see it, and Newhook ends the series with a precise shot to the far right corner.
His 7th of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
And fortunately for Dobish, he was able to handle that puck. There wasn't any type of a rebound.
Sabres get it back to Dahlin off the draw. Tight at the line, though, with Demidov. And the Canadiens hunting for loose pucks here. The Sabres are known. That's where they want to play the game from. And now you've got Evans going to the net. There's a shot, scores! The Canadiens in overtime with the counter. And they go to the Eastern Conference Final as they win it 3-2 with 8:38 remaining in the overtime period. And a remarkable season for this Buffalo Sabres team comes to an end even after a 2-0 comeback to tie this game 7-2. They had the city on the edge of their seats once again for the first time in a long time.
And who do you think there? Newhook coming down there, and he's been absolutely fabulous in this series. That's his 7th goal of the playoffs. I think 6th in this series. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen playing a strong game there tonight. Just not able to get a piece of that one over on the far side. In Montreal, they are. Hey, you got to give them credit, Dan. They work hard. They work together. They're fast. They move the puck out of their zone pretty well. Their goaltending was very strong in this one. It's another young team here that is going to be battling with the Sabres for a long time to come. They're built very well. They're very well coached. And they got experience last year.
Yeah,
they got the experience last year that the Sabres are getting here this year. And that might have been the difference in this one.
Newhook had the overtime winner against Tampa as well to get them here. And that shot didn't go off of anyone, just a fluttering puck, though, that got by Luukkonen.
Yeah, it goes through Dahlin. It goes past him, past Evans, and you got Bowen Byram coming in. It's just kind of a rolling puck end over end, and it just lobs over the pad of Luukkonen, his left pad, into the far corner of the net.
Yeah, so 82 miles an hour on that shot, and as you say, with the way it's kind of fluttering like that, an even tougher pickup. What a season, Rob. We didn't expect this team would be here. You and I at the beginning of the year were looking at each other thinking, here we go again. And the Buffalo Sabres take all of us to a Game 7 of Round 2 and a goal away from getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. So congrats to the guys.
Yeah, I think we got to look at it, and a lot of these guys that took major steps this year, and there were a lot of guys that, that for a while you were hoping they were going to, and they did this year. Zach Benson doing a great job. Bowen Byram having a heck of a year. Sam Carrick when he came in, awesome. Peyton Krebs, I thought, really turned the corner here this year. Matthias Samuelsson, Owen Power. You can just go on and on. There's been a lot of guys have really outstanding years. You got some young guys, Noah Ostlund coming in, that Helenus that you're going to be looking for next year. You got to expect that both of those guys are going to be in the lineup here from the beginning of the season next year. So
and Kaniri Kulik play
a lot of young positive guys that you just proved they come in here and they showed they can play. And there's going to be no transition time here. They're going to step right in. And it's going to be good right off the hop. So,
and you know what else this wasn't? It wasn't a nasty series. I mean, they fought hard and they battled, and there were hits and there were words said and pushing and shoving and should we or shouldn't we go at it. But nothing was overly. And how about this? Guys shaking hands with the referee here. Jason Zucker starting it, and Malenstein coming over as well. And now the fans here at KeyBank Center who have been chanting "Let's go Buffalo," thanking their team for a ride, as I said, that I don't think anybody expected. They hoped for it, but I don't think they expected it.
Yeah, and you know what? The Sabres came through, and they did a good job there. And you know what? I look at it, and for a while you haven't been exciting rolling to that season. I am now, because I think they've got a really good opinion on what guys can do past the regular season now once they got into playoffs. A lot of the young guys who can play, who do they really want to make sure they hone in on and keep. Some guys that could be moving up. There's a lot of guys here, I think, on this ice tonight that it may be their last game as a Sabre here, because decisions are going to be made as the way guys played throughout the playoffs and that. Do they need to improve in certain areas? The coaching staff all on last year's of their deal too, so who knows what's going to happen there. So a ton of questions within that Sabres dressing room right now, but I think the biggest thing is they can all look back and they can be pretty proud of what they accomplished here as a group and what they possibly learned from each other and what they can carry on into the future of their hockey careers, because I think they made a huge step. They grew together as a team, and I'll tell you what, it was pretty darn exciting there for the last few months covering this group.
Remise en jeu gagnée par les Sabres. Deuxième effort de Norris à la pointe maintenant. Dallin est là. Fin. Demidov tente de lui faire perdre la rondelle. Elle est libre dans l'eau de la zone. Carrier va sauter là-dessus. Carrier, une passe latérale. L'attaque maintenant. Voilà Newhook. Tire au cercle droit et goal! Alex Newhook donne la victoire aux Canadiens. Et ils iront en Caroline en finale de conférence. Bonne nuit, Buffalo!
Écoute, il me fait ravaler mes paroles. On l'a pas vu. Je disais, il touche pas souvent à la rondelle, etc. Et là, il vient de se servir de Dallin comme écran. Et là-dessus, Luukkonen n'avait pas une vision claire. La rondelle a changé de trajectoire à 2 reprises. Et il vient de marquer un but. Et vraiment, là, encore une fois, on doit tirer notre révérence. C'est 39 tirs, Martin. Le jeune Dobèche a été égal à lui-même. Il a rebondi, encore une fois.
Alex Newhook s'offre un autre but gagnant pour une deuxième série consécutive dans un 7e match. Et le Canadien ira dans le carré d'as pour la première fois depuis 2021. Personne n'en croit ses yeux ici à Buffalo. Les partisans sont subjugués. Leurs favoris avaient dominé la 3e période. Le début de la prolongation, Danny, cependant, on a senti le Canadien gagner un peu en confiance. De bons arrêts de Dobèche qui a stabilisé tout ça. Et la victoire est arrivée.
Un jeu très linéaire, donc rien de compliqué. On utilise la vitesse. utilise l'adversaire comme écran. C'est des jeux de base, mais ce sont les jeux en prolongation qui rapportent des dividendes.
Newhook. Assist number 45, Alex Carrier. Newhook, Carrier at 11:22. Alors, à 11 minutes 22 de la première période de prolongation, le but victorieux marqué par Alex Newhook, son 7e des séries, et il envoie le Canadien en finale de conférence. Au centre de la glace, Danny, la traditionnelle poignée de main entre ces deux équipes. Nous avons eu un 7e match de haut niveau.
À la hauteur de la confrontation qu'on attendait, c'était une drôle de série avec des matchs à très très haut pointage. Là, on s'attendait à un match serré, le genre de match où le Canadien excelle. On a senti en deuxième période une baisse de régime quand même considérable. L'adversaire a eu le meilleur, mais n'a pas réussi à avoir le dessus sur Ukko-Pekka, qui était l'élément clé, Martin, de ce retour en force.
Eh bien, Danny, après le but de la Saint-Jean-Baptiste en 2021, voici le but des Patriotes, marqué par Alex Newhook.
Je vais le prendre, moi, le but des Patriotes.
Alors que les joueurs terminent la poignée de main au centre de la patinoire, Danny, avec Dobeš derrière, qui reçoit quelques poignées de main très respectueuses de la part de ses adversaires. Les deux gardiens, Luukkonen et Dobeš, au centre de la glace. Et les entraîneurs, Martin Saint-Louis et ses adjoints, ferment la marche derrière. Allons-y tout de suite avec le jeu qui a changé le match en compagnie de Danny.
Bien évidemment, on va offrir le jeu du match à Alex Newhook qui a attendu une fraction de seconde après avoir reçu cette belle passe, une contre-attaque. On est à 3 contre 3, il n'y a pas de surnombre. Là.